Okay, we're going to run through a couple of things. One thing in particular we were going to look at is using tile maps, and we'll look at some things within the 2D, sorry, kind of format. And so if you don't already have the assets window just here, you go Windows and you go, there should be, actually maybe it's in Components. Oh, it's weird. Oh, there, it's right there. Windows Asset Store. So you want to go Window Asset Store, and you click on that, and it'll open this Asset Store window. And then you click you go Open Package Manager, and you will open the Package Manager, which we can use for stuff like Cinema Machine, which I've kind of gone through a couple of times, but I'm just going to go through again. For Cinema Machine, you go into Unity registered, and it'll open all Unity registered ones. You go Cinema Machine and you click Install, and that'll install your Cinema Machine. Cin Machine. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. So that's like how you add that package. So up here, Unity registered. You'll find it here and there. But if it's not Unity registered, you have to go a little bit differently. So while that's kind of happening, we'll go search online for the Unity store. And then the Unity store will look like this right here. And we're going to select 2D, obviously. And we're going to go to Free Assets. And we're just going to select this one right here, called Sunnyland. And then click Open in Unity. And then you can do Remember My Choice if you'd like. And you go Open Link. And then it'll open this Package Manager again. It'll take a second. That's interesting. That wasn't what I... Oh, it's right there. Sunnyland. And download. And import. And then it comes up over here, and then click Import. Now we've got the Sunnyland package. Now what you need to do, and within that package it has all its different kind of assets. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it TileMap. There is a reason I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go Windows. And then I'm going to find 2D Tile Palette. Right, that. And then I'm going to dock the Tile Palette over here. Right here. Okay, so I've got Tile Palette over here. And then we're going to go create new Tile Palette, and we're just going to call it Level 1. We'll go Create. And it'll ask us to save that somewhere, and we're going to save that in that tile map folder we made. Boom. Now we have a tile map. Now we have to create 2D object over here, tile map. So now we have a tile map here as well. So we've got the tile palette window open over here, and we've created a tile map within that, and we've got a little grid tile map in our objects. Now we come into our Sunnyland pack, and in artwork, environments in here, and then we have this tile set here sliced, and we just drag that into our tile map. Now once again, make sure you go back out into you want to go assets, that tile map folder that you created, and go select this folder, otherwise it'll be a nightmare to organize. And now it will take a second. We've got our tile palette. We can zoom out and you can see that we can now draw. But you can see that it's not quite the right size. This will quite often happen because the artwork will be the different size to your actual kind of the pixels on this. And you can kind of fix that by playing around with it. And so I'll show you how to do that. Go to tile map, we've got all our tiles just here. You can kind of see that now, we've got all our tiles just here. And if you double click on them, in the inspector, you can kind of look at them as well. Go back over here, Sunnydale artwork. artwork, environment, tile spliced. It says over here, so we're back on in the package, artwork, environment. We've got the one that we dragged on. You click on it in the inspector, you can see some kind of information about it. And one of the pieces of information is how many pixels per unit. And you can kind of change that. So if I change that back to 25 and then I click off it, and you can apply. It made it a little bigger, see? They can go on it again. Obviously not quite right. Maybe 20. Let's see what 20 does. Apply. Not quite there. Let's see, what about 15? You can do this mathematically. You can go and look at what the actual pixel size is of each thing. 15, or it looks like a little bit of an overhang. So we go back to it. So maybe a little bit small. Let's try 18. A little bit underhang. And so, I mean, it really depends on how specific you want to be. Like 16 maybe. Maybe 16 is perfect. 16 looks perfect to me. See how it fills a single square. Now, there's a way to mathematically do it. You can look at you got 4 times 3, 68, and you can do it mathematically. I normally just do it by trial and error. If you want to work out how to do mathematics, I'm sure Google can come up with the answers for you. So now we have our tile map over here. You can kind of see it over here, and then we have our game, right? So our game looks at. And what we do is we select a tile and you just paint with it. So it's like, let's have some green grass here. And then we can have a little bit of a ledge or something. And then, put some dirt under the ledge. And then that ledge can meet like some more green grass maybe if you wanted. Or you can get the ledge to meet some rocky parts like that maybe, and then underneath all this you can have more dirt obviously, and then you might have it meet like a little bit of a green ledge with a bit of dirt underneath, and then that's obviously going to need some more rock underneath it, and then so that square there, we want some of this here. And you're kind of creating like a map, if you know what I mean. Different tile types. So maybe we want some grass like that. And then you'll see in game, we've created kind of like a thing. Now, obviously, I don't really like this tile here, so I'm actually going to... And then, so you've got a kind of like a tile map. Now, back into the inspector, game, tile map. Obviously, if I wanted to get a little bit more creative with this, you got a solid color box here, or you can, right at the moment, so that's all we're seeing. But if I, environment backing, if I drag this background on to the thing and then select its parameters and change its size. This might seem really weird what I'm doing right now, but obviously there's better ways to do it than this, but I'm just kind of I'm going to go sorting layer. I'm adding a sorting layer. I'm just doing this for a second. We're really mainly focusing on so now you have the background, and you can kind of see that there's a bit of a glitch just here in our tile map, and let's have a look at what's causing that. Is that going to relay these objects, and you can kind of see that one of the reasons I don't like that this particular angle on block on this is because that it wasn't made empty. This part here wasn't made empty, so that actually you couldn't walk on this part just here, which is a bit of a problem. So I personally don't like it because of that. And you can see that this has been made empty at the bottom of it. It's kind of made to be like a cliff edge like that. That's why that error was there before, because they weren't the right block. Something you can do is I can kind of take this tile and you can kind of paste them. if you click edit, I want this tile. I'm really bad at doing this. You want to, and you want to click this and then paint it. Oh, have I not clicked edit? Edit. Is it editing? You can like play around with them. It's not doing it for me because I can't. For some reason, I don't know if it's selecting the ones in the corner properly. So if I select this square and then I go click this button, no, that's not working either. They might have changed how it. You used to be able to. Actually, what I probably can just do is I can probably just drag it in like this. Go back out into assets and go TileMap and go save. We're going to call it 13B and save it there. And now we have this tile, and then we can kind of go back into our tile map and we can go select this, and then we can back to the paintbrush. Oh, what have I stuffed everything up now, haven't I? Ooh. Don't undo edit palette. So I got this. Oh, that's not what I want. I want just a single. Now we go the other direction. But obviously it's not the full tile because we're missing, because of the view. Like we could also drag this on here and call it B. And maybe we want like that. Now we have like a little bit of a ramp for our character. And so that's kind of how a tile map works. Now, the last thing I want to say is that there's a little bit of a weird physics kind of component to this, because if you want to add physics 2D, what you need to do is you need to add 2 colliders. So obviously you can add a rigid body to it, that's fine, and obviously static rigid body because it's a ground plane we want to stand on potentially, and then you want to add 2 box colliders. So one of the colliders is called a composite collider 2D. It's right here, composite collider 2D. And then another component is under TileMap, and it's called a TileMap collider. And then you just click on here, use composite collider, and that's kind of done. And now if you'll it should work as a collider as well. Now to get it working as a collider, we kind of have to demonstrate that. So we go Sunnydale, we go artwork, sprites, player. We'll just go idle, and we just drag him onto our thing. Oh my god, he's so small. Let's fix that to begin. He's so tiny. Let's make him a little bit bigger. Let's go 2, 2, 2. Z doesn't really matter, I mean. But, I mean, let's go 4, 4, 4. Okay, so, obviously we don't want to be using TileMap palette right now. I don't know why it's on. So we now have our guy. He's here. And if we go add component, physics 2D, we're going to just give him a box collider for now. And then we're going to add component, physics 2D, give him a rigid body. And then just, so you're going to have to work around with 2D objects. If you click here on the box collider, you can kind of see the thing, but it's hard to see. So quite often what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here. And I'm just going to click this button here, which will hide the back. Then we'll go back to our player and we'll click on the box collider and we can see it a little bit better. With using imports, quite often you have to just reshape the box collider so that it matches the shape of your character. And it's hard to do with background sometimes. So now if I press play, you should hopefully see that he'll fall to the ground. See, move him up further so it's a bit more obvious. Play. Falls to the ground, hits the tile map. Obviously, you can't move or anything like that. I'm not really going to go through movement right now, but that's kind of how a tile map works. I know I did that very quickly, but I'm just going to run through a couple of quick things. Hopefully, the box collider and the rigid body, I don't need to go through because we've done that in the 3D video. But just a reminder, that rigid body is what gives you physics, so like gravity and mass and all that, and you need to make sure it's the 2D version. and I recommend always turning it to continuous. Box collider is what you use to so that the object can recognize it's coming in contact with another object. So otherwise, if there wasn't colliders involved, the player would fall through the platform. Okay, that's what stops the player from falling through the platform. So what I actually might do, and you press this button here to change the shape of the collider. And that's the little green square, which you can't see. But if you click on the eye to remove your background, you should get a better vision of it. And then you can kind of just manipulate it. Quite often when we get into more 2D game making, you're going to use multiple colliders because it makes the making of the game a lot easier. And so a tile map needs to have a more complex collider with it because obviously it's not just a single object, it's a map. And to do that, you need to have both a composite and a tile map collider. And so you add the composite collider 2D and then the tile map collider 2D, and then you just click the used by composite collider on the 2D collider, and it will just draw around your objects perfectly, basically. Almost perfectly. But as you can see, there are some glitches with using tile maps sometimes. And that's because, can you see how the green outline, let's hide the background again, kind of comes out a little bit? That's because when the drawer drew this object, there must be some stray pixels out this way. And if you're interested in making it a little bit more smooth and a little bit more perfect, then there is something I can show you with Photoshop that can help you fix up tile maps to make them suit you a little bit better. That's just something that I can show you in a later date, maybe. Now, I'm just going to show you what happens if I disable these. So, one way, if I can just click these, they'll disappear. So now we don't have the tile map collider clicked. So it's not active, active, not active. Okay, active, not active. And we can also just remove the components. So if I remove the components, you'll see when I press play, he'll fall right through because he's not colliding. So they need to have a collider to be able to collide. And so we're just going to go back in, add component, physics 2D, composite collider, just right here. And then you go add component, tile map collider, and then tick the box that says used by composite collider. Now we have a rigid body as well, just for some physics, and then you press play again, and now this time he'll hit it. Okay,